Paddington Basin. I'm actually not here for canals today. I'm here for a river. A deep, lost, underground river. It's been a port here since 1801, which was 50 years before they built the railway station. They essentially built the railway station here because of the canal port. Very few traces of the industrial history of the past. In fact, the area is what I would call infested with hipsters. You know, business hipsters, bipsters. And they mostly hang out down there. They've got like a floating pop-up park or whatever, or something. We'll go up there in a minute, see if we can join their what would you call post-industrial futurist hyper-reality. Oh, people do come down here to check out the architecture, but literally in my eyes there's something missing. Like what you see sets the stage for what you think. Plain building, plain thoughts. But just in case all of these business hipsters do get a bit, bored and their brains are going a bit smooth whilst they're in there, don't worry, because from each of these, hyper expensive, highly polished and clean buildings, out of the window you see this, which, to be honest, I think is much better. Firstly, I love this like half pink gate here. That's pretty cool. And I just love stuff like this. I mean, look at this. It's like a rusty old bracket reminding us of the industrial times, and this funny pipe kind of battling with it, which is like cut off. And then the airspace has been stolen by like an exhaust pipe, and then like vents and decay. Massive steel girders sticking out of the wall. And a little bird box. Hello. There is something else here as well. You know how these hipster people always like to talk about the global south? Well, look, they decided to get inspiration from the global south with their electrical systems. That looks great. Wow. Percy Pig lives in M&S apparently. Wow, it's amazing. This building is modern, and it kind of looks like a mixture between like Batman and Transformers or something, but it's not boring. It at least has a little bit of forensics. It is the vents, and I've always wondered about these things. This is a clue that there is something underground, probably just a car park, but we'll go and confirm. And I always wondered, like, are these output or input, for blowing out bad air or for sucking in good air? And I can hear a lot of noise. Can you hear the noise? These are definitely suckers. So you can see all the dirt on the outside that is collected because of the sucking. Look at that smooth brain. Oh, he's so bored. Smooth. Brain is getting smooth. Oh, and we found it, guys. We found it. The octagon. You've been rumbled. It's so weird because it's like totally deserted. I mean, it's just like a Wednesday morning, like just before lunch, I guess. There's nobody here. Oh, ping pong. Like really faded, battered old ping pong. It's like, this is set up for some kind of international ping pong championships, I'm pretty sure. You could fit like 1,000 people here. Oh, cute little gate. Wow. Look at that, the sun trying to poke through the clouds. It's actually raining a little bit. These guys don't mind. Aha. Indeed. It's a car park. There's a friendly little reminder that you are not free here. You can be expelled at any point. It's another little amphitheatre. What's weird is that there is this water feature which is like turned off, and I can hear like tapping from like underneath. It's being adjusted. There's a little guy here. I mean, he is really tiny. You won't be able to tell, but his legs are extremely short. This is the guy that essentially gave planning permission for all this. This was his vision, you know? Oh, what was it, like Egypt? Athens? Athens, I think, because of the octagon. Yeah, bye-bye, funny little man. And then this is the hipster fortification up here. I have to report, though, I'm afraid this is built on stolen land. There's a displaced population that under hipster tyranny. It's only because I worked for a short time after college in a landscape architect that I kind of understand what's happened here. So they've used up essentially some habitat, and when they were wanting to build this, they would have to do a habitat survey to see what kind of species are living around here, like ancestrally living. These guys don't count, by the way, because apparently pigeons don't. They're not special enough to have human rights, which is very, very, very sad. You right, dude? But when they did the habitat survey, they would have found various things, like they would have found dragonflies, small fish, and of course lots of bird species, including ducks. And if they go around here and they manage to find like a nest with like eggs in it or whatever, then that's deemed as the duck's ancestral home, which basically means not very much. They have to bring in something called mitigation. So let me tell you how the mitigation works. They'll look at this area and be like, well, the ducks do live here and breed here, but it's kind of plain. There's not much going on. It's just a flat piece of water, so it doesn't really have that much value. So what we can do is we just forcibly remove them, steal their land, their water, and then to appease them and to make sure they still have somewhere to breed, they will build them something that is seen basically as an upgrade. It's much, much smaller, but an upgrade to what the ducks originally had. And ladies and gentlemen, I give you the duck FEMA camp. Well, technically it's a duck refuge, so it's a refugee camp, but I'm actually not here for the ducks at all, or the canal for that matter. I'm actually here to trace an underground river, a deep, dark river underground. And I'm afraid the Paddington Basin was the nicest scenery we're going to be getting for a while, as we're going into full-on dank territory. Literally the dankest door I've ever seen. And there's like random screaming coming from inside these tents. Scary. Oh no, it's from in there. Welcome to Paddington Telephone Exchange, which is an absolute monster. And it's next to Edgware Road Station. The underground station represents the tunnels that everybody knows about. The telephone exchange represents the tunnels that people don't know about. But the tunnels the telephone exchange is here for, they contain a vast underground river of data, a data river. Oh, the green man. That's already pretty spooky. Oh my god. When I first saw the Paddington Telephone Exchange on Google Maps and I saw that it was next to an underground station, I thought to myself, well, obviously, but of course it's not obvious to your average passerby. They don't realise the connection. It's a little bit like if you're walking in the desert, you're walking the dry desert, and you come across like a couple of bushes next to each other in like the barren desert. Your eyes tell you that there's a bush there, but your brain does the maths, the forensics, and it tells you that there's a hidden water source under the ground, like a shared resource. That's why they're here. And it's the same with these buildings. The interesting thing about these buildings is that although they're all kind of different, they're like Pokemon, right? They're all sort of slightly different shapes and sizes, but they actually all have the same features. Each of these buildings has rooms inside that have access down into the deep level tunnels. It's also true that each of these buildings will have a secret little door somewhere that actually bypasses the building itself and just immediately accesses the deep level tunnels. And you might be thinking, surely it's in the underground car park, but it's not. That's a red herring. This is from 1977, this thing. It does have a sort of 70s caravan look about it. It's got these like special cladding that is to try and keep the building cool, kind of reflects the sun, although not going to really help today. You can see where the floors are, where the equipment is, because they have this like passive vent. And the good thing is, when you're trying to understand these things, is to try and recognize the difference between a vent that is an output for heat and pollution, and one that is an input for breathable air on the deep level. That's weird. Maybe the UN has finally recognised they have human rights and is giving them sheltered accommodation. Here we go. Burn house. And this will be the loading bay. Yes, there's one going in now. It's the loading bay. And the thing is that when you're looking for the deep level access, the thing that they always have is like industrial scale ventilation. What you can see here is just your average normal ventilation. So the shaft to the deep underground is not here. Yeah, wow, look, it's actually got exhaust pipes. I'm guessing this is from the car park. Don't breathe this. It's like a little cubby hole, and they've shoved two like concrete blocks under there, essentially to plug it up so that human rats can't like climb in there. And there is, of course, evidence around here of, you know, pretty sure this is just security for the downstairs windows. You see the evidence, right, of what's it called? Night walkers, day walkers, zombies, probably like clawing at the doors with their fingernails at night time. And yes, this is what we were looking for: industrial scale air input. So the shaft is around here. And you're going to think I'm kidding, but the entrance is that. And you might think, how can it be? It's too obvious. It's like right on the front of the building. Why would they use that? Well, because it's exactly where the shaft is. And there's precedent. You may not know, there is a secret entrance, a little door into the bunker next to the Home Office, the Whitehall Tunnel, like the most secure part of it. And the door is just on this weird little booth, and the booth just goes straight down, spiral staircase straight down. Also the South Clapham deep level bunker is exactly the same. There's just like a weird little booth with a funny little door, and behind it is a spiral staircase that goes all the way down. So that has a spiral staircase that goes straight down. And from here, I'm going to follow the Data River upstream. St Pancras new church. I have actually wanted to do a video about this building for a very, very, very long time. I'm kind of just here by accident, to be honest, but I think whilst I'm here, we may as well, you know, check out the local death cult architecture. I'm supposed to come in here for falafels, I think. Falafels. You want some falafel, bro? And it's a lot of bins. This is one of the entrances to the crypt, and I think you'll find 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, which is not surprising, really. And also the spire, right? The spire is like a perfect octagon. Look at those pillars. It's got a nice rounded bit at the back. These bits here, this sort of flourishy flower shape is a direct copy from an ancient piece of archaeology to do with ancient Greece. I was actually looking for like the date stone or whatever, but this church is like 1822 or something, and it's a Greek revivalist, which basically just means it's like a celebration of ancient Greek architecture. Ancient Greece is actually quite a big rabbit hole. It's called the Eleusinian Mysteries, which is like one of the ancient mystery schools. I just realised it's a bit weird that they have like one boob sticking out, which is, I guess, is similar to like rolling your trouser leg up or something. The Eleusinian Mystery School was what would you call it? An initiation cult, and the architecture here is actually reflecting that. And I'll need to stand back and have a good look at the spire, I think. Wow, that must be the new handyman. So the architecture reflects the stages of initiation. So the first floor, or the ground floor, this is where like the base men will enter. And back in the time of the ancient cult, you would have to bring an animal with you to be sacrificed to cleanse your soul, so that you could be initiated into the first level of the cult. There's the second level. So if you successfully initiate, you've got the second level, and then the third. Ultimate spiritual ascendance is represented by the cross at the top, and the only way to get from the upper level to ultimate spiritual ascendance is represented here by fire. This is death, which is apparently one of the stages of the initiation. You have to die to successfully make your way through the cult. There are a few ancient objects that were discovered in archaeological digs, and that's where these shapes come from. It's essentially a copy-paste, along with all of that as well, direct copying from ancient objects. Like with any good pyramid scheme, there is of course like less room at each level. So the whole system is designed to keep the mass of people in a sort of lower caste at the bottom, and then only allow the special ones, the talented ones, the ones that show a good talent in sort of bringing about obedience in others and recruiting others. They are the ones that make it to the top, as long as they absolutely toe the party line. Those are 10s, aren't they? 10s. 10 and 10. I believe the actual mystery cult had 12 and 8. So we'll look for those whilst we're in here. That's a 12. So I'll move on to what I'm actually here to see now. It's going to be quite loud. So this is the Euston telephone exchange. Of course, a little bit more of a nicer part of town, so the building is slightly nicer. It's going to have all of the main features though. It's got the scummy, dirty old vents in the windows. Obviously no sign of industrial air intake here, so let's go around the back. Loud fan noises, although that's next door. Got a little exhaust pipe. This will be the loading bay, I'm guessing. Yeah, that is the loading bay. More small casual vents. That's a big one. And yes, although it's quite a small building, this is clearly the industrial air collection point. So this is our secret door, goes straight underground, and just a 3. Well, the other number is missing. Someone's tried to have this off as well. Somebody's been bending this. What are you even looking at here? I don't know, it's just another door, isn't it? There is a set of doors and then just steps that go straight down. So yeah, the reason I'm having a look at this one is because I'm interested in its sister, the other little bush, who's here to make use of a shared resource. That's the Quakers. Nice tree. That's Euston Station. And yeah, the building that seems to share a basement level with this building is UCL computer science. Floor -1. Computer science. When I first was looking at that building, and I thought, well, whatever is in the basement of the UCL building is the one that's sharing the underground resource, so it might be quite interesting. And when I looked into it, sure, it says computer science, but specifically it says the UCL Interaction Centre. And I thought, Interaction Centre sounds like a social club or something, a coffee shop. So nothing there. But it turns out that the UCL Interaction Centre is really quite something else. I will read it out. UCL Interaction Centre is housed jointly between the Department of Computer Science and the Division of Psychology and Language Sciences. 150 researchers working in a diversity of areas, including ubiquitous computing, digital health, behavioural change, disability interactions, aging and technology, future and educational technologies, affect and emotion, whatever the hell that means, in the wild studies, that is studies on consciousness, and multi-sensory devices. That doesn't sound spooky at all, does it? The esoteric path. Our final destination today is going to be a telephone exchange Pokemon so enormous that everyone has seen it. And although everybody has seen it and they think that they know it, they don't really know it. And certainly they don't know about the secret door and its weird sisters that share the underground resource. British Telecom Tower. Everyone knows it, but do they really know it? When that was built in 1966, opened up by the Queen, of course it was primarily it was for broadcasting like long-range signals, obviously very high, get over hills, etc. But it did actually have another more secretive purpose during the Cold War. When they built their continuity of government program, lots of facilities under the ground, including that one, they named them after bits of a castle. So you had fortress, citadel, bastion, rampart, and tower. That thing was known as Tower Mercury. The idea being that if the Russians pushed the button and London was hit, this thing would survive. Not all of it, but you see, this is about 177 meters. 100 meters is about there, the top of that first part with the glass. It goes that far under the ground, so it's pinned by 100 meters, and that part that's 100 meters high, they say, would survive a nuclear blast. The top would go, which would be quite something. But that thing was designed to climb up just to there and survey the bomb damage of London. You should remember that the British government also had contingency plans for the public if there was a nuclear bomb and the city was irradiated. They did have plans of building structures that would essentially make it easy for them to take out the zombies. A lot of the old nuclear bunkers have this sort of initial very long tunnel going down, and that long tunnel going down was designed that they could, you know, pick you off as you were sort of a radiated zombie, you know, with hair missing, or making weird zombie noises coming down the tunnel. So if you had actually survived the initial blast, you would not really want to go too close to this thing, otherwise the government might decide that you no longer have right to exist. So it's a bit ominous, really. It is a telephone exchange, and let's walk around, do a little audit. We'll start with the older part of the building on the other side. 1939, George the Sixth, who is the guy with the stammer, the Queen's father. Wow, this thing does venting with a lot of style. These are some nice vents, dude. These are all output, ambient output, and the building is really nice, isn't it? It's got like Art Deco details. Look at that. Yeah, look at that. Sort of Egyptian almost. This is the nicest telephone exchange I think I've ever seen. There's like a little fence along here as well. It's cute. Look at that brutalism. That is very brutal. Are those inlet vents? Not sure. So that is the car parking entrance. Can confirm. Lots of little BT vans and cars in there. Oh, there's some of our standard fare, normal ambient cooling. Here we are technically in Camden here, the borough, not the town. And wow, look at this funny little pub. The Tower Tavern, home of traditional ales, quality beverages and simple delicious food. The only problem is it's like delivered to you whilst you're on the toilet, apparently. It's a funny little bracket. This is Maple Street. This is the back of the car park. Yeah. Exhaust pipe, confirmed. You can check that off the list. And then this is like the main bit, I think. This is where the Queen came when she opened it up. Verboten, not open to the public, the tower. This is the old grand entrance. Oh wow, they have like a sculpture here of a telephone box falling over. Look at that. Oh wow, one that's like a sofa. Oh, I wasn't expecting the door to open. I was just looking at your sculptures. They're pretty cool, huh? My bad, sorry. Oh, there's a thing behind there as well, like a relief. But it says not open to the public. The door was clearly open. So here we go, guys. Here's the money shot. Cleveland Mews, where the horses used to go, huh? Yeah, the horses used to go. I'm sensing it. Can you see it, guys? Can you hear it? It's industrial scale air collection, which means the shaft is here. Well, we kind of know anyway. The shaft is literally just the continuation of this enormous concrete block to make it sort of bomb-proof. But yeah, look at that. This is the big one. That is the epitome of industrial scale air collection. Now, isn't it? And that is a one big donger. It's only thanks to a man many years ago on Facebook accidentally breaking the Official Secrets Act that the internet now knows where the funny secret little door is. You may think that it might be this one, but I think that's just like a weird maintenance hatch. The actual secret door is this funny little blue one here. This is some pretty serious brutalism. Right here. Sea entrance. Oh, somebody coming out.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. So yeah, this funny little blue door. British Telecommunications, sea entrance. This is sea entrance BT Tower. Yeah. That is it. That is the one that bypasses the building entirely and goes directly underground. So what about its sister building? The other bush that's here. It's the Sainsbury Welcome Centre. So Sainsbury Welcome Centre sounds a little bit like a visitor centre for a supermarket, doesn't it? But it's really not. It's Welcome, as in the Wellcome Trust, and Sainsbury as in the Sainsbury Trust, or the guy who gave his name to Sainsbury's. The question is, what are they up to? This building also has this white reflective cladding all the way throughout, and this wobbly surface is to stop the direct sunshine from heating the building. That building is its full name is the Sainsbury Welcome Centre for Neural Circuits and Behaviour. Here are some of its greatest hits, okay? They found that behaviour is coded in the brain much like a music box. And like a music box, you can change the tones to bring about a change in behaviour. Nice. And also something called the group merger experiment, which was an experiment on rats. And you have to remember that when big corporate entities do experiments on rats, it's because they're not allowed to do it on humans, but the research will be aimed at humans eventually. The group merger experiment. We introduced two groups of rats, each consisting of 6 individuals on separate sides of our indoor zoo-like environment, which were separated into 2 sides with a large wall. The 2 sides were connected by a door which was initially kept closed. We permitted each group to establish territories for 7 days. After this, we opened the connecting door to allow interaction between these groups for another 7 days. Using the behavioural annotation of conflict events, we characterise the formation of a new social hierarchy that emerges from the fusion of these 2 groups. So let me just break that down ever so slightly. So the only way that they can create data for studying social behaviour of rats is to bring opposing groups of them together so they conflict. And then you collect behavioural annotation on each of the conflict events to characterise the formation of a new social hierarchy. So that's 2 telephone exchange buildings that have funny little sisters that both happen to be associated with University College London, that happens to be working on computer science, neural coding and behavioural change. Nothing to worry about.